Yesterday was just another test. Test your mind, test your body, test your soul. They're interesting those days in the fact that there's no way out of it. I guess is what I'm trying to say is you're in the moment for that time. And as much as you want to cry, get angry, get frustrated, you can't just pull yourself out of it. It's not a choice because the body is literally putting you in the oven. So on those days, I've learned to go into my hole, understand it is what it is, and just literally I just hope, pray that tomorrow is going to be a little bit easier. Now that it is tomorrow, it is a little bit easier, and I've learned that over the years that it is a little bit easier the next day. And if it's not, then the next day after that, it might be a little bit easier. And these are the things you have to teach yourself when put into an unfortunate situation like myself. Millions of other people out there have been put in situations like myself. They have their own ways of dealing with things, but these are ways I've helped rationalize the situation. I understand it is what it is now. In my earlier years, especially in life, I would fight things that weren't going my way. I would get angry about things that weren't going my way. And a lot of things didn't go my way. More than a lot of things. Haven't had the easiest road in terms of getting to where I wanted to go. Well, I don't know if it's happened to a lot of people. I know myself that I've always hit roadblocks, and the roadblocks have always been really hard ones for myself. And I've had to figure it out to the point that where I'm at now, I understand what it is, what it was. But back then I used to get infuriated, I was act like a prisoner, but one thing I was always good at was getting back on the horse. I'd have my cry. I still do. I have my tannies, give me 24 hours, let me get it out of my system, and then I calm down, rationalize it, and move on. So yeah, yesterday was just another one of those days, definitely noticing the BPC though. I need to get some more of that stuff coming down to the lower half, and I don't really want to stop taking it, to be brutally honest with you. But yeah, it's we're in the moving forward section again. There's going to be a lot more days like that over the next couple of months. What my goal is and what my hope is that once that next couple of months, with everything that we're doing now to help progress myself forward, I won't go back to that flatline situation again. And I'm not going to, because I'm not going to allow myself to get back in that situation again. I've seen a way out. I know what I need to do. So we're going to push forward with everything in that sort of area. But yeah, it's going to be another quiet day today, man. What else is new? Just another day in the life of figuring out life. Do you ever feel like you're on the right path? What do I mean by that? It's like, how the did I end up here? Is this the road I was always supposed to take? I always fathom, it's just this whole concept it plays on my mind sometimes, because it's like, when I was younger, it was sports. I had a good height, I'm around 6'2", good body frame. I was quite slight and slender when I was younger, but, played A sports across the board. Didn't matter what it was, always in the top teams. And then ACL, boom, gone. I think it was back into grade 10, grade 11. Never came back from it. It was a weird situation because sports all I knew. It was it. It's all I trained for. All I was supposed to be was a sporting guy. And then it was taken away from me. And then I became really creative. I was always, I was asking mum how to sew. I learned how to sew. Always had an interest in fashion. Loved having the fresh kit. And then it's just you go through life. My 20s was a wild ride. Did a lot of cool shit, man. Played some festivals, did all that. And then I get super sick. And I sit here and I'm like, was I on the right path? Was I supposed to be doing what I was doing? I don't know. Life is not what I expected it to be. You're younger. So I always tell myself, I'm a millionaire by the time I'm 30. It's just it's just such a hectic thing, right? Obviously I was doing something wrong. Obviously that wasn't the life I was supposed to live. Or was it? Or was I just done dirty? I know God has a plan for me, and I've always thought I was meant to do something important, but maybe I had to go through the fire to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Maybe my story and I was not comfy enough within myself to impact the world the way I wanted to impact it. So maybe I had to go through this to put myself in a position now where I can impact the world the way I want to. I don't know. I've just always believed I was meant to do something more. I don't know. I've always had that feeling, even when I was younger. So I don't know, man. It's interesting, right? It's interesting. But then part of me, I just want to lead a simple life. I have no desire for fame. I don't want fame. Obviously want money. I want to be comfortable. But at the same time, it's just like, do they come hand in hand? Do I have to be this social presence? Like, is that the only way to make it these days? I don't know. Because like, it's not what I want is the fame. I don't want everyone to know the I want to live a quiet life. I want to live on a farm. I want to grow some vegetables. But in order to get to that dream, I have to go and do all these other things first. And I guess that's why I'm feeling myself right now at the end of the day, right? It's just, what other choice do I have? You have to conform to a point. There's all these platforms and all this. So like, you have to utilize them. It's complete and utter stupidity thinking you don't have to utilize them. So I'm in some deep thought today, man. Some real deep thoughts. But, deep down in my gut, I think I know what I want to do. I think I know. I want to help people, but also I want to be creative. And I think that's why I want to go into fashion, is because I can create a real cool vibe with some nice clothing, but also the story behind it is something completely different. We're not just creating cool clothes. Tried that. Yeah, it's cool, but there's no depth to it. There's no oomph. What separates the one label from the next. At the end of the day, most people will just put a logo on an item of clothing and we call it fashion, right? So it's just like, what separates one fashion label from another? What separates one business from another? What's the POD? What is it? What's the point of difference? And I think we can care a bit more than what people really care. I have a disabled older brother. I'm very, very heavily interested in helping disabled children. I love them. I used to coach basketball with them. They're some of the most pure humans you'll ever meet in your entire life, honestly. They don't come much better than a disabled person because they're just happy to be happy. But yeah, I have a lot of goals, man. Me coming out as a bisexual was a big one for me. I held that off for a long time. I was confused a long time. Confused coming from a Lebanese household. Encouraged about these things, we're very strict, the ethnics, very strict. And so me confining myself to my dad when I told him was just such a weight off my shoulders, and he laughed. He was just like, what are you stressing about? Man, I used to live with some gay people. He's like, I got no problems with any of this. And I was just like, why was I so stressed? I don't know. It's not who I was when I was younger. I was just confident. I was just hungry, savage human. And I got dinged up a lot along the way. I've had 2 ACL reconstructions. I've had pins in toes. I've had autoimmune diseases. What else? Throw some shit at me. We're here and we're going to piece it together. But I just, had to get some off my chest today. I've just been in some deep fucking thought, man. Trying to figure out this goddamn life, constant push and pull, yin and yang. Where's the peace? You got to find your peace, right? What's important to you? I think I know what's important to me now. And I'm going to go get it. We're going to get healthy first. But then I'm going to go get it. Because anyone can change the world. Just got to believe in yourself at the end of the day. That's my views on today. Thank you for listening. So, we have come to the end of the Visomycin, Cerebromin, and Semax first period. Now, my overall view on this is it has been life-changing for me personally. I've gone from having minimal amounts of energy to now that I can actually go through a whole day without needing to lie down and have a bit of a rest. Now, I know that's only the start of everything. and I've seen such a huge improvement off the beginning. I don't know if we're going to see a significant improvement on the second, because I firmly believe that when you're taking these sorts of drugs and whatnot, the first hit's always the biggest. So like I'm curious to see what happens in the next round, and I think we do that in a couple of months. So we've got a couple of months off just to sort of see how it balances out. I'm curious to see what happens when we start up again. But what can I say? I can function a whole day. Obviously not overexerting myself. I'm currently 8 to 9 days post that 500 meter walk, and it has been very painful, but the BPC and all the other things are helping me cope a little bit better than I was. Even when I wake up and I'm drained and I'm sore, the Visomitin was able to get me up and get me moving. The Cerebrum and Semax helped my brain function, so I wasn't sitting there just like a complete and utter mute. And then, just the BBC would just function, get the pain down. So by the end of the day, it wouldn't be as painful as the mornings. But it's been a really good experiment. I'm really happy I went with it. I was very nervous. The carnivore, we're over 30 days. I think we're about 35, 36 days into it. I'm sort of starting to balance it out now. I'm not really craving sweet things anymore. My carb cravings, I went through a really bad carb craving around the 3-4 week mark, but now I've sort of pushed through that, and I'm sort of finding a really nice balance. The diet's not bothering me too much anymore, so it's been a really really intense month, but a very, very positive one, to say the least. Mentally, I'm in a pretty good place. I'm a bit nervous about how long it's going to take me to get over this walk. I really want the weeks to cut down from the BPC, so I'm sort of sitting here with my fingers crossed, just praying, please, please let it cut down, because that'll be like one of the bigger things I'm concerned about is the pain, because I really need to get this body moving, and I'm sick of sitting there for 6 weeks post still worrying about why my lower back is just throbbing and sensitive. But anyway, enough of that. Look, things are going forward. I'm really happy with it. It's been a really great start to 2024, much better than last year, year before. We're always moving forward, except for the year we went back. We don't talk about that. Anyway, I'm going to keep you up to date. We're going to keep running through this. I got to go see Dr. Ravi in a couple of weeks. I need to book in to see Dr. Scott again. Apparently my pain specialist is very ill, and I really hope that he gets better, Dr. Grice. I understand, brother. I understand what it means to be down. So we're gonna keep moving forward. Good check-in.